Halloween season is here. Spooky time on Forest Tales channel. Love, your dog. Dolly was a stray dog that was rescued, still as a puppy, from an abandoned house by a charity group. Just a happy dog, that loves to play and make friends, as most dogs are. Dolly was adopted by Sandy, a 40-year-old single science teacher that was still living with her mother, Helga, retired and almost 70 years of pure bitterness and complete lack of will to love life. Sandy believed that her mother could soften with a puppy. Poor puppy. Dolly loved them as all dogs love their owners, but Helga didn't want her inside home and would yell at Sandy every time the dog was around. She demanded that Dolly stay in the backyard no matter what, even when the weather conditions weren't ideal. And Dolly would cry for hours when it was too cold or raining. Sandy wanted to give Dolly a better life, but her mother was impossible to deal with and she had very few wills to contradict Helga. So poor Dolly would stay there for almost a year, before a young couple moved to the house next door and, feeling sorry for the dog, asked Sandy to give Dolly to them to be properly cared for. But Sandy was attached to the dog and having such a miserable life, couldn't give Dolly away as she knew she should. And Helga, even despising the dog, felt offended by the indirect accusations of abusing Dolly and refused to let anyone get close to the dog. No pettings or kindness were allowed. One day, Dolly was sitting sad in the rain, tired of crying for them to let her in, and a young girl around 4 or 5 years old approached her. With her innocence, she asked Dolly, "Why are you sad?" and as if she could answer, the kid nodded the head and said, "I see, so you want to be in the warm and cozy. I can help you." And with a clap, Dolly was inside the home, dry and happy. Before the little girl could walk away, she heard the yelling and curses Helga was saying to the dog, and with a push, Dolly was sent back out in the rain. Sally was working that day, so Dolly was left to its own devices. The little girl looked at the real animal there and said, "To the beasts what belongs to the beasts, and to the children what they deserve." Her eyes turned black for a second and Dolly howled sadly for the last time. Dolly couldn't balance and had to sit. It was hard to stand like that. She looked around and it was bright, warm and comfy, and happy. She jumped over the sofa, pushing the pillows and dropping something on the floor. It smelled so good that she started eating and it was delicious. Dolly didn't feel that happy her whole life. When she was full, Dolly drank water from this big white pot that smelled funny and went back to the fluffy to take a nap. Outside, Helga was yelling and yelling, but no one would care. She was soaked and angry and the door was locked. She was knocking and nothing happened. She threw her body against the door, and it wasn't enough to take the door down. Whenever Sally is back, Helga thought, she was going to take that damn dog away, to hell. While she was freaking out in the rain, Sally arrived, pulling her car into the entrance. Helga immediately yelled at her to come open the door for her. Sally came towards Helga and said, "Oh poor baby, I wish you could come in, but you know how mom reacts if I let you get any close to her. But don't worry, I am getting you a snack for being a good girl and behaving while I was out." And walking away from Helga, Sally went inside the house. She heard Sally yelling, "Mother, what are you doing on the floor?" And as if she wasn't answering, an ambulance was called, taking happy Dolly to the hospital. A few weeks later, Dolly was living the life of a princess. She would play the whole day with beloved Sally, and she gave her very delicious food in her mouth, and talked to her all the time. Put her in a bed that felt warm and soft like she never had before, and no one ever yelled at her again. The smell of the bad one was still there, but Dolly couldn't find her anywhere. Dolly was very happy. Dolly heard, even not understanding it right, Sally on the phone speaking with someone she liked.
"Yeah, the way things are with mom, no way I am coming back to work now. Her dementia progressed very fast and now I have to feed mom and change her diapers, until I find some good nurse for her. I can't work." I agree, but honestly, I think dementia did good for her. I know it's horrible. but she seems happy for the first time in her life. She does weird stuff like licking me in the face and crawl instead of walking, but she is always smiling, and whatever she is grunting sounds happy. Don't even remember me of Dolly. She didn't react well to Mom's changes and became aggressive, trying to bite me and Mom, so I had to give her away. She is on training right now to learn how to socialize again, and hopefully she will be happy in her new family.
Follow at Forest the Storyteller in Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok for more. Check out our website to read more tales. www.forestplumptales.com